sometimes variation isn't that bad at all. For example, me building roads. Yes, it's something I wouldn't normally do. But these roads lead us onto a new path. A path towards setting up a stronger base behind the railway. So join me as I will build myself a new bulk factory. So now that the roads are in, I'm thinking of doing a little bit of a side project from the railway. Or well, something that's eventually gonna support the railway. And that next project actually has to do something with this building over here. Because of course we built this, and upstairs there is the board of transport, but down here it's still a little empty. And what to better build than a proper shop for, well, rails and also roads, because yeah, I've been building little roads as well. So what fits better than rails and roads? A shop where I'll be selling copycat components for building, well, rails and roads, asphalt for building roads, more stuff for building roads, and also loads of tracks, because we're gonna need loads of tracks in the future, and I do need to, well, improve my setup right now, because it's kinda not very automatic yet. But I do need a factory for that. Because in here, not everything will fit for sure. Well, I also built this road, of course, and this road goes very far already. I still need to continue it in the future, and we still need loads more materials and stuff, and we can sell that. But what's the better place for a little track factory and some other things than this one? But yeah, we're just gonna have a little factory. Of course, later on, I do want to move that to my older base. And we're gonna set up some production lines for some tracks. Maybe even I will get shipments from our main base over the road. That would be pretty cool to have some cars running around here. So I think a proper workshop and maybe a little depot for our cars after will go here, and it's a right place for it. Alright, so I got myself a little screenshot, and let's actually figure out a way to make this building. For a floor plan, I'm thinking, if we do that, long factory hallway off to this side, for example, and then we need a little loading base. You can already see the vision, right? Some storage area back there, some bigger building with some shed roofs, I'm thinking. Yeah, so now that we have one sawtooth, we can actually copy them over like this. So that's our sawtooth facade right there. So over here, I want a bigger building, I was saying. So let me actually work on that. Let me do some basic outlines first. Also, I like how it's coming a little bit closer to the railway there. So it's chopping off the back, and then the bridge is still, of course, visible from down here. Yeah, a little wider will do. Yeah, that's going to be our bigger building where, well, probably there will be some offices or something in there. I don't know yet. There's going to be a roof there, and then we're going to have a bit of a darker one. A few garage doors for trucks to come into the factory to pick up the goods. Now, for the roofing, of course, the sawtooth is also going to be on the other end. So let me just... Yes. So a little something like that could be cool. Over here. We're going to have a little parking lot situation in front of us. I am missing one important thing, though. I'm missing one important thing, and it's a chimney. I think we need a chimney. Look at that. Look at that. That's... Oh, yeah, that's a really cool building, actually. For a wonky drawing, it's pretty okay, to be honest. For now, this will be our main idea, I think. And I think, looking at the size of blocks, it's going to be pretty okay, size-wise. It's not going to be too huge, but it's going to be fine. I think it's going to be good, so let's get to designing this. So far so good, but at the same time, I think we should change up the plan a little bit. In the original drawing, I actually added that chimney and a little fire chimney building. Besides that, I also added it to the side of the main sort of complex. I'm thinking of separating this, so moving this a bit to the front and then having a separate area, maybe a little walk area behind it. Because right now it just feels too mushed together. It doesn't really feel like it's right or something, you know? So I'm gonna just move that chimney on its own and then have a little powerhouse sort of building right along there. Maybe move the hull a bit back so it still stays inside of the line of this. And then at the back it's a little bit more flat, but I think that's fine. But yeah, let me just try and see if I can make this work. So I actually uploaded the schematic and let's get it in game right now. So I think I want it somewhere there. I want it rotated though. So is that gonna face the sun? The evening sun is gonna swoop in. Is this the right? Actually, no, this is fine because this is morning sun and then it goes up like that and then it's evening sun. So everybody will just have to work in the evening. That's fine. Now, one of the things I'm most concerned about is this corner over here. So we're gonna just move that back a little bit so it fits on the side of the road. Of course, the road already dips down here, so we're just gonna make a little retaining wall thing here. But let's first see how close we can get it to the railway as well. So we can move it a bit more this way and a bit more that way. There is a door here on the back, and I want that to stay open. So we can get a little pathway out of there, that way. Okay, if we have a footpath and if we have a wall, then we can still have a little gate to go through. Okay, let's check our composition, because I am a car. I drive on the road. I see the bridge. Oh, it's actually on the embankment. Yeah, I think there's good space behind it. I think it goes with the embankment very well, and we have some space left over here for storage, maybe? So now that this is actually in the right place, I first want to clear up the terrain around it. So I'm going to dig out some dirt. I'm going to fill in some dirt as well. And I think I'm also going to place down some stone of where the building is going to be. So now that the area is done and prepared, I actually started collecting some materials for the build, and I checked the checklist, and well, there's a good reason why I have a zinc. Yes, I'm gonna be crafting some copycats and well, some other smaller amounts of items, and yeah, then we'll get ready for the deep slay. But yeah, then we'll get ready for the build. It will be fine. We'll manage. We'll do. And with that, our building is done. And I think it looks great. I think it's going to be an amazing factory. So let's have a little look inside, shall we? So, of course, all the decorations are there. There are no lights in here yet. So that's the only dangerous part. Yeah, that's dangerous. I will fix that for sure. Anyway, as I was saying, let's actually have a little look-see in the factory. And of course, here's our main entrance hall thingy. I don't know if there's going to be many factories on this, but we'll see. This is our main factory hall. So there's going to be all kinds of production lines, like I think a washer, a smelter, a haunter, a press, things like that, all over this hall. Here is the end of our production line. So this is where our storage will be. And from here we can ship it out as well. So if we go back into the main hall and we walk up here, I want to have some more production lines up here. Maybe this is going to be the crushers and stuff. And well, I don't know what to build on the attic. Maybe extra bulk storage, maybe something like that. We're gonna see. And then over here, our last little room is gonna be the engine room with our beautiful chimney up there to get the smoke out of here. And yeah, that's gonna power the whole plant. So what I want to do now is collect some materials. And by collecting materials, I meant hours of farming materials. See, eventually I wanted to build a big factory. So, well, I needed loads of items. And those items might have been a little too much, but at least we can always use them. Alright, so I actually managed to get some components for our machines, which we're gonna need. So we have a box of this, a box of that, and more stuff in our inventory. And the stuff in our inventory is mainly gonna be for the steam engine that we're gonna build. So that's the first thing I'm actually gonna do, is build a steam engine. And that steam engine is of course going to be in here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna build up here, and we're gonna put a line of that there. A few of these here. Now, of course, we want our power to go down or to go somewhere else in the factory. I'm thinking, let's go down there. So what we're gonna do is quickly just dig out some grass over here. We'll get some pipes up above, over here. Then we'll get our blaze burners. Now we do our tanks. So 1, 2, 3. There we go. And now we can place our steam engines. Beautiful situation for our steam engine. It's kind of compact in here, but we can still walk around it, so that's great. What we now need to do is we need to get a water input and we need to get a lava input. And I think for the lava input, what we're just going to do is make a bank of cauldrons and lava in them. I think we're just going to do that below here, honestly. Let's disconnect it from all of these, otherwise we'll have some issues. So that's nicely split up. So we're gonna pump water into here. And what's gonna be here, you might think? Well, over here we're gonna have another steam engine. This steam engine is gonna be powered by the campfire. It's gonna be slower, but it's gonna at least always run. It's gonna make sure it's always running. I can't do that, but I think this should work. Should work anyway. Should just pump it in there and do nothing. It shouldn't pump out of that, so that's good. It's also hard to reach down here. Okay, that's better. Now, we could hand crank it for the first start. Oh, and it's enough power. Water size is not... there's not enough water yet. Let's see how fast we can make this. Oh, just max speed is fine. Not enough water yet? How much do you use? This guy's maxed out. Okay, so that's double the steam engine. Now we're gonna need more pumps in here for this one. So combine them instantly like that. I'd like to have another wheel in between there so I can actually shut that off. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna keep it like this. So now what we actually can do, start up our double engine. Actually, maybe I can just get away with one. Yeah, water and water. Yeah, that's more than enough. And now we can add this one, sending it to our main engine, which will not have enough water. Okay, we're gonna expand the water pool a bit. Water, plenty of water. So now that's running. What we need to do is we need to hook up our lava system. Have we not produced any lava yet? Or has it just instantly pulled it to the... We have literally not produced any lava yet. Have I done something wrong here? Dripstone, basin. Cauldron. Oh, we need cauldrons, not basins. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm quickly gonna fix that. Fixed. So, yes, let's do that. Oh, we already have one bucket. Yeah, see, this is getting faster. So, 12 cauldrons. Cauldrons, right? Should be enough to produce lava for the farm. I chose to make 15, so we actually fill up this tank a little bit. Let's just keep on working on our base, because I think our steam engine should be done. So now that I waited a bit, we collected quite some lava. Oh, there goes another bucket. And I think that should be enough to... Let's do it like that. Should be enough to power that on. We're getting some heat. And now we have a steam engine level 9. So what I'd like to do is now actually get some machines in. And for that, we're going to need all of these components. And maybe even a little more. But we're going to see about that. And first things I actually want to put in is the systems for washing and smelting and stuff like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these against the wall. So I'm quickly going to clear out some small details here. Like that should be enough space. I'm going to put some vaults in the corner. So one is going to be your input vault. The other is going to be your output vault. Like that. And this is going to repeat a few actual times. But before that, of course, we need all of our mechanics in. And what we're going to use for this one is fans, mostly. And to power the fans, I'm going to use some encased chain drives at the back. There's going to be some fans over there and some fans on the side, over here and over here. What I think, we can connect this, right? Yeah, we can connect it like that. We want to connect it eventually to this way, so around there. That connects there, and that connects there. So now we have a line that goes like that. So if I take my fans, I can smash these on. So that's our little wall of fans. So we're going to have fans there. Now our easiest way to connect these would be doing that. Yes, beautiful. So that's the basics of our setup. And now what we want to do is actually get some gearboxes, probably. That. And with some depots to finish it off, we place these here. So this is going to get watered by 2 fans, actually, by this one and that one. And this is also going to get watered by this one and that one. So for this factory, what I opt to do is actually to use some mechanical arms in this. And those mechanical arms, what I want to do is actually go up there. So our mechanical arms are going to be here. Of course, I need to link them up still, but that's fine. This vault is going to be the input. I want a big vault so that when it's getting loads of packages, it will first store it in there and then run it through. And we also are going to do an input on this one. Let's take items from all of these depots and then plonk them in there. Take items from that depot and put them into all of these ones. Now, what I actually need to do is build a cover for it and some slices on there so that the water or lava or whatever doesn't spill out completely. So yeah, that's our machine mostly in. So what's left to do is one thing, and that one thing is actually to get frog boards installed. There, so this is just going to be a packager and a frog board, right? Over here, what we want to do, however, is a packager, a frog board, and a lever on it, so it will always make the packages from whatever inside. And we want a sign on the side saying where it has to go. So we're always sending this to storage. I think that's good. And now we need some power input.
Dave!
Hello? Hello?
Dave!
Hello? Hello?
Hey, Dave!
Oh, hello, Foxy. What brings you here?
I need you to come to see my tracks to help me place them.
I was just building some machines, but I guess that can wait again.
Wow. Look at the size of this place.
I'm always putting everyone first and not myself. It's always the same. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine.
I'm very thankful for that. I appreciate you. Come on, let's go.
So, you needed my help. What is all of this? And what is happening? Why is my rail? What?
Right, where I want my rail, yeah, I want one there and one there. I don't need to worry about going that way because I can just, go reverse on and go the other way, maybe.
You don't know if you can do that. No.
I do.
No. So you don't want to go that way instantly. You want to go that way first, right?
I'll have to because there's no way we're going to be able to dogleg around that corner.
So I now linked it from the back and let's see what happens. Yeah, okay, so it's gonna... can it be more backwards? Like more start from here? That's a little far.
Ideally not, really.
So if it starts from here, is that fine?
Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so it goes that way first. So what we can do is we can do... It's going to be a little weird, but it's inside of a tunnel. Nobody's going to see that. That's fine.
That doesn't look too bad to me.
Okay, it's still clipping through a little bit, so I have to extend it by 2 or 3 tracks. Let me go do that, and then... So it's either this one. Is that clipping? Yeah, that's perfect. And you want another one, right?
Yes, ideally, yeah.
Well, whatever. This looks fine.
Yeah, that looks great.
From a standpoint of realism, this would be dangerous because going out of a tunnel with this is not fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It's not ideal. Yeah.
Honestly, that looks pretty good. Good luck with your what is this?
It's a dystopian nightmare of a cyberpunk/steampunk city. Nightmare,
as in nightmare for the users or nightmare for you to build?
Both.
Ah, nice.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate you, and I'm sorry for distracting you from all of the wonderful things that you're doing.
Yeah, it's just my factory will be slower now, and I will have less rails, and everything will go less fast. But okay, well that will be fine. Thank you for that. Yes, that's a good payment. Anyway, bye-bye. So now that I finished helping Foxy, what I can actually do is finish my power setup over here. So I'm gonna get a threshold switch. So what we do is we get a little shaft up here, there, and then a clutch, right? Threshold switch. And that threshold switch is gonna sit, well, there, I guess. And it's just gonna be set to the lowest. So items, and then 1 and that. And this is gonna have some delay. So what this will do, if I turn that on, like that, is as soon as we get our power situation linked up through the whole factory, but then what's gonna happen is as soon as this threshold switch sees items in here, it's gonna allow this to open up, right? Because it's extended, this actual time, what it will do as soon as there are no items in here anymore, it will of course spew out a few more, and I wanna get everything to be done and then turn off. So let me actually build a few more of these stations. I'm thinking 3, maybe 4. No, I think 3, because we have washing, smelting, and haunting. I don't care that much about the smoking. So yeah, let me just get 2 of these set up, and then we'll go on to the next machines. So now that these machines are done, the next thing I want to work on are these 2 machines up here. And one of them is going to be a machine for the presses. Then we have one for saws, so for making basically wood types. And then one with some deployers, I'm thinking, to make that into the casings. And these 3 machines are going to be nicely in a row over here. So let me grab some components and start working on that. So for our next farm, what I want to do is the sawmill setup thing. Let's see, let's think about this. So we want some input slots here, and then we want a saw above there, and then the output there, I think. And then our chutes back there. So that will throw the items into the chutes, which will go down. I'll place some depots with that. Our mechanical arm will put the items onto the depots. And we can actually stack this up, I think, because if we do this... so that will make items go through the saw and then into there. Maybe we'll have to put the barrier behind there, but we're going to see about that in a bit, I guess. So what we can now actually do is have our storage vault, the smaller one, maybe in there. Over here, what we'll just do is get a packager and a frog port and stick them on, like that. So if that's going to be our input, then we also need an output slot. So depot and a funnel. So there's our arm in the right place that can move items up and down. Get some chain drive in there. Maybe I can do... And then go up again. We can always have a bearing in between. So if the rotation is wrong on that one, then we can always fix that. And our pulse extender in between. Set to 10 seconds and on. Yeah, that's not powering anything there. That powers that off. And now to get our output from here. Depot is there. Packager there, frog port there, brass funnel there. Now we can link that to our belt and that to our belt that will be there. And that's our second machine. So now that I got quite some machines in this factory hall, which eventually I'll expand a few more, I first want to build some other factories, which are going to be in the main hall. Mainly a crusher and a millstone, and I'm going to use the millstones to make flint, because it's just more efficient. You get 1 flint for 1 gravel, so the system will find it a little easier. But anyway, we're going to set that up right now, so let's go. So now that these other machines are also done, it's time to quickly look at the next machine. And for that next machine, we actually need lava. Well, I don't simply want to build an infinite lava pool because that's not really fun, is it now? And we already have one over at spawn. So since we have this gigantic road going from spawn to, well, at least our factory, what I can also do is actually get lava from the infinite lava pool at spawn to here with a truck. A lava truck. And then it will probably store it in a big tank, which I still need to build. But yeah, I'm also going to do that, of course. And that's going to be the input for my lava needing farms. We're just going to build this truck right now. I'm going to collect the materials for it. I'm also going to build the tank behind it. I'm probably going to do a little road work to get it working. And at spawn, we need to do some pipelines and things like that as well. And then we can actually set up our first car on the network. Fuel storage areas on this side are done. And now we can move over to spawn, because over there we still have loads of work to do before we can actually load the truck with some lava. And with all of that work, the road is done, the truck is set up, the pipes are there, look, they're behind there, the pipes are there. And now, last thing that we need to do is make a schedule. And that should loop back to our road spawn lava refill, which is here. So let's actually see this in action. Let me give this to you. Easily it stays within the curbs, that's nice. Now let's watch from this hill up here as our tanker car comes into view. And now it enters the factory area, where it should do, well, it does a pretty fast turn. It's a little speedy. We might fix that later, but for now, fine. There we go, it backs up and then straight onto our port. And I see lava flowing, so that's good. And the car is off again. I don't think it emptied it out all the way. So we might need to work on that. We might install that extra little pump over there and then we get a working setup. But for now, without installing that extra pump, we already get lava deliveries to our factory. And with that, we can work on the next machines and the power setup. And with that, our little setup is done. So what I did is I added in this little farm over here, which will make me some tuff. This one will make me some sturdy sheet. And I also added this one, which will give me deep slate and andesite. Now what I added up here is actually an area for the chains to come up. So I had a little issue where the chain conveyors would be down below, of course, underneath our feet here. And they also had to go up through here. I made some steel sturdy beams in here. And yeah, that's how it goes up right now. So last little thing I added in here is actually a storage vault for some item storage, of course. And I added a little bit of a setup over here, which refills the whole factory with a cobblestone. So what I can now do is, for example, use this wall to set up some factory gauges. So here, for example, we have cobblestone, and there we have stone. Now what we can do is add in a new item, which will be our cobblestone. Change the recipe, send it to smelting, and as soon as we set it to 4 stacks, for example. Now apparently I set it to 4 items right now. What I actually want to do is, for example, 4 stacks. So I did encounter a little bit of a bug when you actually set it to multiple stacks. See, this factory gauge here is actually sending out some items that it needs, right? But as soon as it receives items in here, that counter will bug out / reset and just send out more. What will actually happen eventually is we are requesting 3 stacks. We already have 1. Going to receive way more. See, right now we have 4 stacks and it's still receiving items. Yeah, it's still making even more. So the only way to fix that really is to do a little bit of a trick, I guess. So for that trick, what I actually do is I use the feature of the farm where it shuts off. Because when it shuts off, all the items are done. And we're going to put a speedometer over here. So from that speedometer, what we can do is as soon as it's on, it will actually give a redstone signal through a comparator. Now, if we then get some redstone dust and a torch, what will happen is as soon as the farm starts running, this torch will turn off, so the packager won't be on. As soon as the farm is done and it flips off, this packager will be on and it will send all of the items at once back to our storage unit. So that's sent 4 stacks right now. And it should turn off any second now. There we go. So we'll now send over 1 actual full package with all of the items inside of it. And it's done. And it's not sending any more items. So that would be our workaround. Now we do have to install that for every single farm, which is quite a pain. But yeah, I guess that's a workaround. So our factory will be a little bit slower also because of this. Because it cannot be constantly running through multiple stages. It will have to do it step by step, the request. But since our farms are pretty fast, I think that's not really an issue. So now that all of our machines have been changed to the new system and that actually works, what I want to do is look more into these factory gauges, because with the smelting, if it just sends out at the normal rate, it's just a little too slow to really stock the farm. So what I can do is 2 options. So if I plonk that down and that down, you see that actually it toggles that. What I can now do is add a new connection to this. Put this like really quick. Look at that. We're now gonna see if this goes fine. Ah, see, it's sending 4 more actual packages out. So that's the delay in between. So that would essentially mean that this system, even though it's a smart way of thinking, it wouldn't really work. Now, another way we could actually do that, because we don't need that much speed, is add another gauge. See, the gauges share their sent items, I think. So now these 2 are the same setup, essentially. We'll see that items will be sent a little bit faster. These packages are a little bit closer together. And the farm should be running at full speed as well. And now let's see if it will send new packages. It actually doesn't. Yeah, I think we're just going to use this to make it a little faster for some things. But yeah, we're going to work with that. On this wall, I'm going to actually set up all of my factory gauges to work and to make some stuff in the farms. So yeah, let's see how that's going to work. So I messed around a little bit more and I set up some more factory gauges. I will do more in the future. Look at that. Look at these items that are all automated already. I want to have this whole wall full eventually, honestly. Let me just drain out these items. There goes some of the packages. So some will go to the smelter, some will go to the washer. That's some soul sand. Yeah, there we go, Hunter. This is going to the crusher to make some sand and to make some gravel. Seeing all these actual packages fly, it's amazing to see, honestly. Eventually it will all fill up, of course. So yeah, this farm is pretty fast. We're only waiting for the big order of stuff from this guy. So this guy has been running quite consistently. As you can see, there's a few thousand items in here already. What I might do is set up some bulk of sand and set up some bulk of gravel. There we go. There are our items. Yeah, that's done. And, well, we have a little bit more gravel to be made. Now, another fun thing is I can actually drain out the deep slate and the andesite. And, yeah, this machine is also pretty crazy. So one thing that I actually want to do right now is get an output to my farm, which should be something like this. So let me now just get the stock ticker in, put a block underneath, and get that up there. And there we go. So now I can actually order items from my system and it will craft a little bit more. So what I would do if I, for example, wanted some glass as well, which I haven't set up, is just add them to there. Add in the sand for the glass. Set up the full recipe. Specify the amount of items to keep in stock. And off the packages go. So all of the other machines I will set up later for you. But for now, I think that's it for this chapter. This chapter of building the bulk factory.